Hey everyone, welcome to the Self-Awareness Journey podcast. I'm Melissa Albers.
And I'm JJ Parker. This podcast is for seekers, seekers of happiness and joy, seekers of a centered approach to success in life, seekers of their true, authentic selves.
Get ready for some real talk on everything from anxiety, emotions, and habits to love, compassion, and forgiveness. We know you'll be challenged and enlightened by this conversation. We're so glad you're here. Let's dive in.
This weekend, I was in a tennis tournament.
Yeah.
And I played this, and just for everybody, this is not like fancy pants tennis tournament. This is like a bunch of amateur adults playing tennis,
Acting like they're at Wimbledon.
Totally. But it's like an event that our club puts on. It's called the Club Championships. And, it's like there's a whole bunch of different divisions. There's like singles, doubles, and then mixed doubles, different levels.
Sure.
It's like a big social thing, but there's there's like a whole like ladder, right? So you want to get to the end, like you want to keep winning and you want to win.
Okay.
Because at the end of it, you know what you get?
A trophy.
A t-shirt that says Club Champion on it.
Yeah, but you get to wear that t-shirt in front of everybody
all
till
year
it wears
long.
out.
Exactly. So I had this tournament this weekend, and I entered 3 divisions. So I don't know if you remember this from last year. I entered 2 divisions last year, and then I couldn't walk for like a week because I was so sore.
Got it. So you entered 3 this time because that'd be way better.
Because I'm smart like that.
Yeah, you are.
And it was awesome. It was a ton of fun. So I got pretty far. I ended up playing 9 matches in 2 days, and those matches are like about 2 hours long.
Oh my God.
So I was on the court for something like 17 hours Saturday and Sunday.
It's all coming back to you in a heated rush why you were so sore last year.
Yeah. And so like you if you win, you keep playing. If you lose, you're out. And so I kept winning and I kept playing, and it was good. And my mixed doubles match or matches was with this partner I've been playing with for a while. Her name's Tina, and she and I were like playing really well, but in our division there was another pair that we know that are I'd say that they were playing down. So when you're playing tennis,
so
you know what I mean? Like you can play up, which means like, hey, we're not good, but we'll play in the higher level just to see what we can do.
Yeah.
But you're not supposed to play down.
Right.
You're not supposed to be like better and then play like the crappier players. That's just, so there's this team in our division that was definitely playing down. And we're like, come on. And everyone who was in our division looked at that and like, ooh, they're going to be really hard to beat. So I was already kind of annoyed that this couple was in our division.
Right? Yeah.
To make matters worse, the guy on this mixed doubles pair beat me last year in the singles final.
Okay, I can see where we're going here.
So they made it to the final mixed doubles match, and Tina and I made it to the final. So it was
you 4,
me and Tina, and Ann and Court. Oh, literally, dude's name is Court.
His name's Court?
Right. It's like when he was born, his parents were like, this child will be a tennis player.
A prodigy in tennis. No, his name was probably actually like Hank until he was 30, and they changed it to Court when they saw how good he was.
So we were underdogs. I had maybe a little bit of a chip on my shoulder.
No. No.
And so we went in to this match, and Tina and I were just playing our butts off, and we won the first set.
You did. Ooh.
Yes.
I bet you that made those two mad.
Yes. Oh yeah, and he's super competitive too, which is again to me kind of I was getting so triggered the whole time. I mean, so this is like
I feel like you are
this pod is
still
like a
sort of.
therapy session for me because it's like also he's so serious. He's like super serious. He's getting super mad, and we're like beating him. He's super mad, and I'm like, dude, it's like a bunch of 40 and 50-year-olds running around in amateur tennis. Not this big a deal. Mm-hmm. But also,
feeling the same way as Court was.
His wife and kids came. They were cheering every single point that he did anything good. They were like clapping and cheering. I'm like, what the frick is this? Like no one else is there except like his family
This is
cheering
like a
him on.
Saturday Night Live skit.
Yeah.
Oh my
ridiculous.
gosh. That is hilarious. Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, so we got the first set, which was awesome. And then, of course, Court just kicks into, like, super competitive mode. And then they won the second set. And then we had to go into a super tiebreaker. And they ended up winning the tiebreaker. And we lost the championship match.
I did sense that outcome was coming.
So, yeah, I do have to probably go make an appointment over at the Tria Orthopedic to see if they can work on this chip on my shoulder. But so the whole thing is like, I don't usually get that annoyed with people.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, actually, that's true.
I don't
that's
get that
true.
annoyed with people.
No,
like,
no, only in competitive situations.
I'm pretty I don't know, easygoing and accepting, and I just, kind of roll with it.
Yeah.
But I was getting, and this might have been a beautiful tactic on their part, but I was just getting progressively more annoyed during this match. and when we lost it, I was just like, I am done. And I was so heated, and we were supposed to go. Well, we went out to dinner after, and I was like, I can't even engage with people. I am so grumpy.
Oh, you know what? Welcome to my world. This is what it feels like to be a highly assertive individual with high competition. Welcome to my world. I've spent my whole life trying to shave off. I've gotten so much more mature over the years and so much more mellow, but I recognize every one of these feelings. And by the way, I should also say, listeners, when you hear JJ's voice go as he's talking, it's because he's got his hands covering his face as he's telling the story. Oh, I'm sorry you didn't win, but it's interesting, isn't it? I mean, I hate to say this. Maybe it's too soon. Maybe it's too soon.
Go for it.
I shouldn't say it. Might be too soon. Maybe you should wait till tomorrow. I feel like when we see people acting like that, the only way we can see emotions is if we too have them. Uh-huh.
I know. I was doing a little bit of self-reflecting on this. Like everything about it was like, it's like, why was I annoyed? It's just like probably for the same reasons, like they would be annoyed at me, right? Or like, you know what I mean? Like it's sort of like I see maybe, like you were saying, like,
yeah, you were recognizing
it. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't. Hey, don't you think everybody's like this though? I mean, come on, give yourself a little grace, because I think we can be a very easy breezy about things that we don't have that much commitment or passion around. It's easy, I think, to be a lot less competitive or less triggered by things that we're not that involved with or, committed to. But tennis is like one of your main things. Like you love tennis and it's always have.
It's one of my main things. Yep.
Yeah, it is. And so like you see somebody else that's just as passionate about it and winning in the moment, right? And it just so happens to also be against you, and you feel that they've stacked the deck just a little bit.
Right. Yeah.
I think there's a number of things.
I had some resentment from last year. I felt the deck was a little bit stacked.
Yeah. Yeah. And you have spent a lot of time getting good at this. You spent a lot of time, energy, physical energy, mental energy, emotional energy. You've traveled around to go to camps. I mean, you've spent hours and hours and hours on the court to get good. And so, why wouldn't you get triggered in that moment? Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, right.
Who wouldn't? Well, how was Tina, by the way? Did she throw her tennis racket over the fence? Okay.
Smashing tennis racket. No.
I just want to tell you, I want to give you this visual. Of course, it was the 80s. It was a long time ago, but I absolutely lost it on the tennis court, and I whipped my tennis racket over the fence. Mm-hmm. Just, giving you a little humor here. I bet you didn't do that.
We didn't do that.
Okay. See?
Now, Tina, I think both of us, like, in the moment, were pretty well composed. I don't know how Tina was after. I didn't see her.
Really? You didn't sit with her for 1 second and, like, no, you were just done?
No, after we were like, okay, we did play well. We were the underdogs. We got really close. So, I was proud of the way we played, but I was really surprised at how triggered I got. That whole like getting your opponent to lose their temper is a tried and true tennis tactic.
No. Hang on. That is a world tactic. That is not just in tennis. That happens in all facets of our lives, whether we're cognizant of it or not. That's a thing. That's a competitor's dream versus nightmare.
I knocked out like one of the favored singles players in the previous round this weekend, and the way I did it, and now I almost feel ashamed that I'm going to tell everybody the way I did it. The way I did it was
the same way Court did to you.
I know. I got him to lose his temper. Right? So I kept on running him back and forth on the court, which is like normal. That's like normal tennis.
Yeah.
But then he would like maybe hit it in the net or hit it long and get really mad at himself. And then I would just exude this like hyper calmness the entire time. This guy was like literally taking his racket and smashing it into the back net, like hitting it on the ground, swearing to himself. And I'm like, yes, lean into the anger.
lean into the anger.
I'm like, I got you, because as soon as you get that mad.
At your game. That's what this is. You're just mad Court beat you at your own game.
So,
oh my gosh.
So let's like actually talk about why people actually get annoyed. Like what purpose is this feeling? Like why is it?
Well, I don't think we choose to have that feeling, first of all. That feeling is a response.
Like how did this response come to be? Like how does being annoyed actually serve us? It's kind of like a little warning before like full-blown temper tantrum. Right?
I'm trying to get down here into the nitty-gritty with you, and I'm just still picturing all this, and my humor is just taking control.
Come on, get serious. I want to figure this out so I don't get so triggered next time.
Flinging yourself on the tennis court and kicking and screaming and rolling over on your stomach and kicking some more, rolling over on your back, looking up at the sky and throwing your arms up towards the clouds. See, I got the whole visual going.
Yep.
Yeah, no, it is a really good question. It is a really good question. What do you think? I want to hear how you think, because you were really, really coming in hot. Okay, listeners, he wouldn't even tell me what we were going to talk about. He's just like, we're talking about being annoyed. Record. And I was like, game on, let's go. I know there's a good story coming.
Well, so to me, like being annoyed is like, I don't know. It's like the warning strip on the side of the road before you crash strip into the ditch. Yeah.
It's the rumble strip. It's the rumble strip.
It's like that, okay, you're getting annoyed. Like, let's try to get you back on the road before you fully crash into the ditch. Mm-hmm. Right? Yeah. I think that's what annoyed is.
Yeah. I think annoyed is the awareness that your expectation that you have is not being met in the way that you think it should with the conditions and circumstances that you feel you've created to make something happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I think it is. I think annoyance is
What a really academic answer. It's like you looked that up on Google.
Right, which I did not.
Which you didn't.
As you know, I didn't even know what we were dang talking about. But I think that's true. I think that when we hit this annoyance, it's like, and I think it has much to do with your competition with yourself in the moment too. I think there's a whole bunch of things that come into play because you can notice your expectations aren't getting met, and you can have totally different opinions. You can have sad. You can be disappointed. But I think that when there's annoyance, it feels like, to me, the difference is a level of mastery that you expect in the moment. And that can apply to literally anything. In a sales meeting, arguing with your spouse, you think you have a better handle on something or something. But that's kind of where I go with it.
Yeah. I did like a little bit of self-diagnosis on the internet this morning, of course.
Okay, let's hear it.
Well, so
What'd
you hit
you
it.
find?
Like, one thing I was thinking about was like that perfectionism, right? Like you think something should be a certain way, or you need to deliver in a certain way, and you don't.
Right.
And it annoys you.
Right.
Feeling resentful, clearly a key part of my story.
And and it wasn't just resentful as a new feeling. Like you had collected stamps with this guy.
Oh yeah, all year long.
All year long. So this book was full of stamps.
Full.
Just waiting to get cashed in.
Yeah, and then other things like that can be annoying is when people like maybe like overstep their bounds in some way, right? Like a boundary you have, like maybe it's like I don't I don't want to talk about like a certain topic, it's too personal, or it's too soon or something like that. So
that's really
overstepping a boundary can be super annoying. People pulling on your time can be super annoying, right? Like maybe they expect something of you from a time commitment and you just don't have the time for it.
Right. Yeah. Right. Exactly. I have another one that I think is right in here too, and that is when someone goes against your values in some way, and they don't recognize or honor it, and they just push you and ask you to do something, or they are in a space with you that is not in alignment with one of your values.
Yeah. Yep.
That's hugely. That can hugely cause annoyance.
But you're right. It's all kind of around expectation, and just having those things like unmet just a little bit. To me, an annoying is like it's not full blown yet, but it's just a little bit to put that warning.
Okay, off. I got a question.
Okay,
you're the high patience person. So usually it's a slow burn by the time it gets to this stage where you're like physically or mentally aware that you are in full trigger mode. It usually takes a high patience person quite some time to come down and move past it. So how long did it take you to get over it? Did you have to go to sleep and wake up in the morning and then you felt better?
Well, this happened on Sunday and today is Wednesday and I'm not over it yet.
Oh my gosh. Oh gosh. Okay.
I can usually move past this stuff pretty fast.
I know you can. I'm just having a hard time with this.
I was just having a hard time with this one.
Well, yeah, and I'm making a joke just because of how you said that. Like it's funny how you're saying it. It's like I have empathy for you, but when you tell stuff like this in such a way, it's just really hard. It's just really hard to be right down in the.
I even told Amber like I was complaining about it like for the 4th time, and I was like, okay, this is the last time. I'm done. Like I am done. I'm gonna move on. And then I found myself like the very next day at work complaining about the same thing to just a new audience.
New audience that was going to listen. Well.
And now you. Congratulations.
And now everyone.
Now everybody.
Literally thousands of people are getting to hear us. See, you should feel quite validated that thousands of people are hearing your side. I wonder if Court's listening. Hey, I wonder about this though.
This should be like a new reality TV show. Just like random person. Like Like where you just spy in on therapy sessions with people to just see what's going on.
Wouldn't that be interesting? Oh my gosh, that's actually very interesting. Here's what I would ask you. Now I'm going to go into coach mode for just a moment. Don't get annoyed with me if you don't want me to do that, then just tell me. But I can hardly help myself, as you know. So I would ask you this question right now: what needs to happen for you in order to move past this? What needs to happen?
Other than completely like dominating a match against Court.
Okay. That's a very carnal male instant reaction. But what do you think? Like emotionally, what needs to happen? Like, do you think you just need to own your part of this? Do you just have to
all my parts? I mean, of course. Well,
it's not all your part. It takes two to tango, and he was having a lot of fun. I know he was. If they were staying totally calm and they were watching you lose your shit, excuse me, my swear word. Yeah.
I don't know. Things that I could probably do that would be helpful would maybe just like go talk to Court about the match, right?
Ooh.
Like right now I've got him in such like a box.
Yeah,
right?
You do. Well, I don't even know if it's a box. I'd say it's like on top of an Emmy statue.
He's a totally nice guy. Like there's no, you know what I mean? Like he's a super nice guy. So it's like me vilifying him because
we do that though. That's totally normal. That's what humans do when they get
because
fried
I like
about something.
didn't like the outcome of a stupid tennis match, right?
Well, you're minimizing it though. It was important to you. It was very important to you. Yeah. So maybe
I could
that's
probably
part
do
of it.
that. I could probably do that. The other thing is like just going and getting on with some more tennis and just moving on from this one.
Well, what could you take away from it? Because here's how you told the story. Here are all the reasons that he won, and none of them were because he's better than you. None of them. Yeah. They were all because he purposely stacked the deck. He did all these things. And maybe he's not better than you. Maybe he's as good as you, but the conditions were set that he was going to win that one. I mean, I don't know. I'm just going to the far-reaching end. But there's something in the story you're telling yourself has a little bit of a hook to it that's keeping you right where you are all day, like since Sunday. Yeah. There's something in how you're telling yourself this story that isn't really settled in you because it's still rolling around. So maybe it's just reframing the story a little differently. He's looking down everybody. He doesn't like that idea.
Yeah, no, I'm just really thinking about how I could do that.
Yeah.
It's funny how we can get so stuck on this stuff.
Oh, I know. Oh, gosh, trust me, I know. But to me, that's what it is. It's like reframing the story in a way that just says, I mean, it's just like, it's just like fly fishing. I posted something on LinkedIn. I went back to get redfish. I went back to do fly fishing again. And I caught a huge black drum, which was a major, major, major feat that people will go on huge trips just to catch black drum. I mean, it was amazing. 33 pounds. It was like pulling in a barn door. However, I didn't get a redfish. Right? So, and every person I was with did again. So now I'm telling myself stories about why I'm not getting these redfish.
Like, so now you're 0 and 2?
Yeah, I'm 0 and 2. Yep. And oh my gosh, I could tell you so many things about it. But I was doing the same thing, playing major mind games with myself. I was in total competition mode. I was really, really, really just freaking mad that I didn't get this stupid redfish to the point where I was almost like, well, maybe I should never look for a redfish again. Maybe saltwater fish aren't my thing, other than this 33-pound huge biggest fish of the weekend, whatever. But we just do that. We get stuck in telling ourselves these stories, and I think for me it was because I was hurt. I was hurt. I was very hurt because I had worked on trying to get better at this. I went back on purpose to try. I thought I was being really non-competitive with myself and just honest about it. But inside I did not feel that way. So I was not in alignment. And I think maybe there's something in here too. It's like on the outside, I could tell this very common story that looked real, and people could totally be with me in this story. It's like, oh, wow, you really tried. Like, oh, that was really awesome. And wow, you're really good at. But the truth is, in the inside, I was like, I'm not good at this. This sucks. Like, I am not as good as I thought I was. Like, here I practiced. I did all this stuff, and I still didn't get the outcome that I wanted, and I'm real mad about it.
It is so funny how that stuff is super similar. I mean, like, partway through one of my matches this weekend, I was actually thinking, like, actually, I hate tennis. Tennis freaking sucks.
Same.
Like, I'm just gonna stop playing tennis because I obviously suck at this game.
Yeah.
Like, which was just my
it's just
brain
in the moment.
Fabricating absolute lies.
Oh, I know. Oh God, the stories we tell ourselves are so incredibly powerful.
Yeah.
So it's just something isn't in alignment for you yet in order for you to let it go. And as soon as you recognize what it is, you'll just be like free as a bird. And how exciting will that be? Because you're so close. It's true. It's same with my fishing. It's like, here I am again, the same situation. I'm with a world-known fishing guide. I'm with a top-notch teacher and mentor. Both of these two in the boat with me for a day and a half. And I just kept thinking to myself, this sucks. I hate this. Why am I doing it? I'm not good at this. Well, yeah, I'm not bad at it. Am I an expert? No. Am I pretty good at it? Yeah, I'm not bad. Right? But in the moment.
Yeah. The thing that's so fascinating about this response is the only way to get better at fishing or at tennis or at any other thing you want to do is do it at a level that you can't quite achieve yet.
Totally right.
It's just like
that's so
weightlifting and exercising. Like if you just lift a 1 pound weight all the time, you're not going to get any stronger. You have to push until you're at your limit, and then that's where you start. That's where the gains happen.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So we play this game where like we complain about getting to the limit, but that's where the gains are happening.
Totally. And it's not even it's not just physical manifestation of this. It's like, think of a new job.
Mental, emotional.
You want to be a top salesperson? You're not going to go in and have one sales meeting and be a pro. You're going to suck and you're not going to get the sale. If you get the sale, it's luck. Like, there's just so many things.
This weekend, if Tina and I walked on that championship court and we just blew our opponents away, there would have been no growth there.
Right.
Like, we'd have just been like, oh yeah, I don't know, we're just playing our game, no problem, nothing new here.
Right.
But we were challenged, and it should have been the hardest game we've ever played. Yeah. It was the championship game.
Right.
It was supposed to be hard.
Yeah. It's funny too. I think shame has something in here as well. I'll tell you, this is an exact phrase that I said to Meredith when I was fishing. Mm-hmm. This is now the last day. We're fishing until 2:00. Got to get off the water because I got to catch a flight. Right. And it's like 12 o'clock. So we have 2 hours left well, not even 2 hours of fishing because it's like 40-minute skiff ride back into the dock. So I have like an hour and a half. And I sat down in the boat and I said, I got to take a break. And she said, you are not taking a break. Get up there. You're not done. And I said, do you know what I could not bear? And I actually said this out loud because I was so in my head telling myself a bad story in that moment. Mm-hmm. I cannot bear the shame of coming off the water and not having caught a fish. I can't bear the shame of it. And she said, you need to get that inner bitch out. That's what she said. But in the moment, you just are like so in your head about it, right? And then I sat up.
She's a fishing and life guide.
She actually is, sort of. She's awesome. She's my friend. She's a good friend. Anyway, so I got up on that. And it was like the third cast afterwards.
Nice.
Yep. So it is. You're exactly right. It's the stories you tell yourself when you are trying to get better at your skill. And the only way you can get better is to practice. You can't read about it. You can't read 75 tennis books and then like walk out on the court and be an expert.
Nope.
You have no muscle memory. There's nothing in there besides maybe an analytical approach to something, a story you told yourself.
Yep.
Doesn't mean diddly squat.
Yep. All right. Thanks for listening.
I hope you feel better.
I'll get over it next year.
You feel a little lighter already, actually, to be fair.
No, it is. It is super helpful. Did you enjoy this episode? Please go to your favorite podcast platform to subscribe, rate, and leave a review so others can discover it as well.
Growing self-awareness is a lifelong journey, and there's always further to go. And it's better when we're all in it together. Please think of someone you know who could benefit from hearing today's conversation and share this episode with them. We can't thank you enough for listening. Until next time, happy exploring, seekers.